This time on One Foot Flipper, do YouTubers even wear pants? Let's find out.
One foot flipper.
Hi, Paige here, the One Foot Flipper. How's it going, everybody? I'm doing pretty good myself. I've had a great last few days of sales. In fact, for the first time this year, I am finally back on track to selling $12,000 a month, which was where I was at before I started my YouTube channel. Since I started my YouTube channel, because I was sinking time into YouTube, and I was basically only sourcing from my own death pile and selling things that people brought to my front door, my sales had fallen to about $6,500 a month, but I am back on track to be back to that 12K, and I can't wait to actually start seeing that bank account improve again. It's gonna be awesome. First thing I sold today was this Revelations of the Dark Mother book. This is related to the Vampire the Masquerade world and game. This sold for $29.09 with 3% promoted listings. Okay, I sold $481 worth of miniatures, all to the same customer. They were all kind of wrapped up for protection, so I just made a little slideshow that I'm going to put across the screen here while I'm talking. These are going to a freight forwarder, and from there they're going to Oman. I'm not too worried about that, because miniatures are not a high scam sort of item. If it was a laptop or an iPhone going to a freight forwarder and going to Oman, I might be worried, but no, this is just somebody in Oman with plenty of money who wants to put together their Warhammer army. They had even contacted me because apparently I'd sent them out offers on every one they wanted except one. They even contacted me to get that offer, so that's going to be a great sale. I sold a record album, America, $9.31. Nothing wrong with that. Not going to complain. Maybe I'll complain about not knowing where to put it. My daughter has quite cluttered up the bar, so it's a little difficult for me to move this stuff around as much as I want to. Sold a couple of arcade service manuals. This is a G07 service manual. That's an arcade monitor. It's a very common one of the more popular ones. Often came in Pac-Mans and related games of that era. And a Gorf by Midway, parts and operating manual. Sold them for a total of $13.99 plus shipping. Not bad at all. Okay, what else did I sell? Alright, I sold this Warhammer 40,000 Eldar Spirit Warrior Wraith Lord. He's missing his weapon, but he still sold for $43.64. Not bad. Sold this Tomb board game, $67.89. You might have saw me buy this in the I Bought Games from a Famous Game Designer video, where I bought a lot of games from a game designer who now teaches at local college, paid up a little bit for it. This sale finally broke me even on the stuff I bought on that, and that was a long time ago. And the video tank too, so win-win. I sold a monitor cable set for early Nintendo arcade games. This is going to Donkey Kong, Play Choice versus Excite Bike, those sort of games. Nintendo games used a different style of monitor than everybody else on the market, so they had a different monitor cable. This is an original, not a repro. Some people want original cables. It's the sort of thing that only Nintendo people seem to care about. Other arcade owners are not as weird about stuff like that. I sold a total of 3 gourds for $42, and thanks to the Truth in Gourds Act of 1876, I'll be showing you the correct ones. This one, this one, and this one. This one's a monster. So don't be letting people say I'm a fake reseller. I'm not showing you the real gourds. I'm showing you the real gourds. My first sale from the board game haul, it was a video or two ago, sold this Creature Features game. This was quite in the video since I did a huge amount of repairs to this box. You can go back and check that out if you didn't before. $113.99. Great sale price, because after eBay fees are taken out, that's $101, which means I've already turned $1 on that sale. And I also sold the Dream Phone game, but I filmed that earlier this morning because that customer needed to leave right away. And I was nice enough and made a special trip to make that happen. Normally I don't do that, but it was a high dollar item and they said it was a birthday. And plus her name was Missy. And she just, you know, remember girls' names like Missy in school? Especially the kind of ones who might have the Dream Phone game. They could be kind of scary. It might ruin my reputation. Sold this Beanie Boo for $2.05. This is almost certainly an ex-Julie item, a retired Julie item. Basically, if you see me selling any tiny plush, it's because it was Julie's and she retired it, and she's going to get her $2 when this sells. All right, let's get back to the rest of it. I also sold this electronic Dream Phone, which featured in a recent video as well. And the reason why I'm showing these games right here is because this is time sensitive for a birthday. Of course, I was not told about this until afterwards, but this is probably going to mean a special trip for me to UPS to drop this off. If this was a lower dollar item, I just probably wouldn't bother, but this did sell for $115, so I'll accommodate the customer a little bit with it. All right, I need to get to some serious work. I've spent more time on YouTube in the last few days than I have on actually listing items, and I still haven't finished listing all these board games, so let's see if I can get that done today, shall we? Hey, I just want to give a shout out to my newest channel member. I make random vids at Kenny2021. He's got a cool channel with lots of different types of videos, so why don't you check it out? There'll be a link in the description below. I hear a lot of eBay sellers complaining or concerned that eBay doesn't care about small sellers, that all they care about is China and high-end handbags and watches and graded trading cards. And I'm telling you, this is not something you need to be worrying about. First off is, for 98% of the people watching this video, you're not competing with sellers selling out of China at all. They have completely different items than you have. You are selling vintage and garage sale finds and used, usually items of quality, while the items coming out of China are overwhelmingly new, low quality, and very inexpensive. There is no overlap. The customer does not come to eBay looking to buy this vintage Warhammer tank and instead walk away buying a cell phone charger. That's not how shopping works. I mean, maybe it's how shopping works for some people, but it's not how shopping works for me. And they're wondering, and then they say, oh, eBay ads are only about auto parts and vintage watches and Gucci bags. Here's the thing. eBay doesn't need to advertise that they have general vintage, garage sale type items, used goods, cool stuff. Everybody already knows that. If they were advertising that, they would just be wasting your money. This is something everybody knows and they've known for 20 years. Remember how in movies it used to be a joke that somehow there'd be a joke that someone just bought something on eBay for a bunch of money and that would somehow be a joke? Maybe I'll insert a clip right here.
It looks fake, it happens.
We're trying to buy these really cute shorty overalls on eBay. It's so darn exciting.
Everybody already knows this. There's no reason to advertise that. They're instead advertising areas that they either want to own, like high-end handbags and luxury watches, or areas that they already own, like auto parts, but the people don't know about. That is why the ads are geared towards those areas. And honestly, if they didn't want small sellers for some reason, they wouldn't give you free listings. They wouldn't go out of their way to encourage people to get started as sellers. They want all of that small seller money, and they want all of that big seller money. They want all of that China money. They want all of that Sri Lanka money. They want every dollar they can get from India, Canada, Mexico, North America, every dollar. They want all of it. They are not trying to push anyone out. I mean, if there's anyone they should push out, it's actually Sri Lanka, because there is no money being made by eBay sellers in Sri Lanka, unfortunately, because of the over-competition situation. The only person making money on eBay in Sri Lanka is eBay itself. That's a separate issue, maybe for a separate video, but why don't we get into a few sales here? I sold this Warhammer 40,000 Le Mans Russ Battle Tank, painted, $36. 3% promoted listing, so a couple dollars to pop at eBay there. I sold a lot of 3 Nintendo Wii's. Consoles for parts, untested. I think that 2 of these actually worked. I think at one point when I first got them, I actually had all the right cables to test them to some point, but all the stuff disappeared. I don't care about Wii's. I think the Wii is the least desirable console ever made. Citation needed. If there's one less desirable, please post it in the comments. So I'm glad to get rid of these with no more labor involved. I'll put a picture because this is upstairs. Flames of War hardcover book, Stalin's Onslaught, the Battle for Orsha, Operation something or other. I have very few of those type of things left. I sold this vintage Jimmy talking skeleton. I will insert a clip. I sold this Jimmy animated skeleton that sings hot, hot, hot. I was getting worried this wasn't going to sell this Halloween. It didn't have any watchers. At the moment, I'd only sent out 1 offer in the last 6 months. It was the cheapest on the site by about $20, so I feel like nobody was looking for that specific one. So what I did is I put 10% promoted listings on it, and it sold within 24 hours. So it's going to get out of here and won't sit here waiting for next year. I sold to one customer 12 Air Force stickers. Not even all U.S. Air Force, but various stickers, usually related to the Hornet aircraft, 5144. These were all separate. Well, they bought them all in one combined. Yeah, it was 12 different listings, but they bought them all in one shot, 5144. Those all came out of a box of stickers I bought for $1 at a garage sale that had already netted me 50 or 60 bucks. I sold a classic Warhammer 40,000 Rhino, just basically has the flat black paint job, nothing else done to it. $27.99, 3% promoted listings. Now, remember, the person who bought that, they bought this. They didn't come looking for this and end up buying something from China instead. They bought this. I sold a packet of G-Scale train track clips, $7.99. I had quantity on that, but that might have been my last one. Okay, sold one of my better Warhammer tanks. This one is part metal or very heavy resin or something. It's called a Predator tank, $52.37. This weighs like 3 times as much as this one does, at least. I think it actually weighs more than a pound, while this weighs like 2 ounces. Okay, you guys have to see the real gourds. Actually required by law, according to City of Compton versus the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, 1987. This gourd sold for $12.59 and is going international. Yes, my gourds go everywhere. It's in a box, so I show you some pictures. $130.94. This is an unpunched set of Space Crusade Tyranid Expansion Ultramarines. The same thing also came in the Ultramarines board game. It's the exact same pieces. Either way, these are unpunched, $130.94. Alrighty then. I think that's all the sales I've got for today. And in case this is the end of the video, hey, thanks for coming. If you know anybody who's unpunched or vintage, why don't you tell them about my channel? We're getting there. Need about 120 more subs to make it to 6,000, which was my 3-year goal, and we're only in month 10. You know, tell the people, do me a favor, like, share. If you're not a subscriber, just hit the subscriber button just for a little while. Just do it for me if you could. Thanks so much. Hope to see you again soon.